Politicians in Washington entering the home stretch. The midterm elections just about a month away. When it comes to national security and the war on terror, Republicans appear to have the lead on those issues. But can Democrats put together a clear message on the issues before November? I'm joined now by Ari Melber, Democratic strategist and writer for The Nation, and Terry Holt is with us too, Republican strategist and former Republican National Committee senior advisor. Good to see both of you.
Hey, good to be here.
Hey, Terry, let me start with you. I'm going to take a stab at this and say that Ari is probably going to tell us that the Democrats have a very clear message, that they're offering an alternative. Whether or not they get that message out to voters in time for the midterms, we'll have to wait and see. But if voters get their message, will they buy it?
Well, if they get their message, they're going to hear about higher taxes. They're going to hear about universal government health care. They're going to hear about cutting and running in the war in Iraq. And they're going to hear about a lot of very scary policy positions that the Democrats don't want the American people to hear. I will tell you, in the last few weeks of an election, just a few questions form in the voter's mind. And when we go into the polling place, we generally ask ourselves just one or two basic questions. And if those questions are about policy, then this remarkably resilient Republican Congress, it's still, by the way, each individual member has about a 62% approval rating. I think we're going to find that the Democrats are going to come up short on the policy questions.
And let me ask you, Ari, because Secretary Rice made a trip to the region, to Iraq, and she basically said, get organized, continue progress, or we're out of here. And so I'm wondering, is the Democratic message really so different from what the GOP has been saying all along?
Well, Secretary Rice is following what the Democrats have been saying. So in that regard, the Democratic position is very mainstream. Republicans are now parroting it. It's running on national security. It's prioritizing the hunt for Osama bin Laden, not saying, as President Bush did, we don't know where he is and we don't care, but rather doubling the special forces to get him. It's changing the course in Iraq and changing the leadership, having a no-confidence vote in Donald Rumsfeld, who's failed miserably in Iraq. Leaving him in charge now is like having Mark Foley in charge of the Missing and Exploited Children's Caucus.
Ari, let me ask you, though, how will you explain to Democratic voters, when we have been safe on our soil for 5 years without a terrorist attack, that the Democrats can do a better job?
Well, the president's own intelligence estimates show that terrorism is on the rise. I mean, President Bush has not decreased terrorism around the world. We're all very thankful and happy that we haven't had an attack. The question is, where do we go from here? Do we stay in Iraq caught in a civil war in an open-ended commitment?
Let Terry
That's something that the Democrats
Terry, I apologize because of breaking news. I have 15 seconds. Is the message that different then? Because don't people really just care about feeling safe when they walk out the door, especially when you see these school shootings and such?
It's security, 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 and who do you trust to protect the country? That's the issue at stake in this election.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm so sorry we didn't have more time. Please come back.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Well,